All right, there you go. Live. All right. So, guys, happy Halloween, first of all. So, I hope everybody enjoyed trick or treating, taking out the kids, trick or treating. I know we tend to start a little early before it gets dark. The older kids are probably out right now, but, we're glad you're joining us, and people are starting to join in today. We have a really interesting interview today or a podcast, and we're actually bringing on a young gentleman. We're talking about the younger adults in our community that is doing something special, and it's not every day that Eagle Pass has a gentleman, a woman, male going to a state competition. Guys, that gets as hard as competition as you can. Many of us have tried to do some kind of greatness back in high school in competition, but this is at its top peak, top level competition type stuff. And many of you that follow the channel have seen whenever we interviewed La Barbie, she was doing great things as a junior Olympic champion. So we're keeping the theme here going and showing you guys expose of our youth that we have here and how talented they really are in Eagle Pass. So, guys, I'm not going to take up too much time. We want to go ahead and bring up Javier Ramirez. He's 17 years old. He's a CC Win student, so he's a Maverick, right? And he's a cross country, with this kid. Runs a lot. He's ready for the competition coming up on Saturday in Austin. And this is a state competition, guys. So you're talking about all the high schools in his division of I believe it's 5A for the Mavericks CC Win. So everybody in the state that qualified is going to this, and qualifying is a thing on its own, and we'll ask him a little bit about the process of what he had to do to get to qualify for this state race. Not anybody can join, guys. It's not like, hey, I want to go and run this race. So he had to cross a lot of feet, get through some obstacles to get here. So let's hear from him, guys. Let's bring him on. Hey, Javier, how you doing today?
Good. Good evening.
Good evening. You have a big competition coming up.
Yes. It's this Saturday, so I'm excited.
Yeah, Saturday. So November the 2nd. So it's interesting. I don't know if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself real quick. What grade you are, what grade you're in, how old you are, just so everybody can hear that's joining on right now. What's your favorite subject? Little things like that.
Well, my name is Javier Ramirez. Like you heard, I'm a senior at CC1 High School. I grew up a Maverick since 7th grade. So, I've been a Maverick for my whole life, my whole school life. So, I love math. I really do love math. I haven't taken a math class in a few years in high school, but I love math class and I love working with numbers and stuff like that. But, I'm 17, not an adult yet, which I'm kind of glad, but we're almost there. But overall, it's just, school's fun and everything's just going well.
Awesome. And Halloween, did you get to trick or treat or anything like that?
I personally didn't. I had homework, so I kind of just stayed back and I was kind of just finishing up some homework before we were out the next 2 days. So, I kind of had to catch up.
So since it's Halloween, let's do something fun. What's your favorite Halloween memory growing up as a kid?
Oh, so every year we would go to my tia's house to trick or treat. So it's like a pretty nice neighborhood. So we would always go around there, and it would be with my tias, my cousins, my brother, my sister, and we would always kind of match, and we would always kind of like walk all the way around. But it was this one year where I forgot what costume I was wearing, but it was fun. We were kind of just enjoying it, and then there was like some clown, and we got jump scared or whatever. And then we were kind of scared to go out for like after that, but so we kind of gave out candy, and then we kind of like, okay, you know what, we want candy now. So we got up, we were like, okay, let's go walk around the neighborhood. So we walked around, we got some candy, and from there we enjoyed the rest of the night.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's always the fun part, right? Dressing up and then the candy at the end of the night. Yeah, I still remember those days too. But moving forward, getting to know a little bit of cross country. I know that not many people may be aware of what cross country is or what it entails. So For those of out there that are watching this that don't understand or don't know what cross country is, well, what is it, and what does a typical race look like?
It varies, but I mean it's a 5K. 5K is about 3.11 miles, but there's can be anywhere from, I mean, I've raced from anywhere from like 30 to 40 people in a race all the way up to like 4 or 500. So I mean, we've had really tough races, but I mean, it's tough. It's tough mentally, it's tough physically, and it does take a lot. It does take a big toll on your body, especially if you don't know how to hydrate, nutrition, like stretching and stuff like that. But I mean, I've gotten a lot better at it throughout my years. But I mean, cross country, it's a sport that I feel like not a lot can do. Everybody can run, and I mean, I agree, like everybody can run, but not everybody can run cross country because it is a tough sport. It takes a lot, and I've been running cross country since about 7 years old.
Oh wow.
So, oh wait, seventh grade cross country, like as a team, but I've been running since about nine. So it takes a toll, but it is definitely worth it in the long run.
So what is the main difference? Because I mean, I know track, right? There's also track and cross country, and one of them starts at the beginning of the year, school year, and then the other one's at the end. I ran track when I was in high school a couple of years, but I never did cross country. So what would you say is the main difference? Just the distance or the type of races?
I feel like one, the type of races, but two, also kind of like the team aspect. Because in cross, you need a team and you need people to kind of like help you out and train with you and stuff like that. But when it comes to track, it's more solo and you can kind of run solo and you're kind of only focusing on yourself. But when it comes to cross, like it's a team aspect. You need seven runners to even compete in district, and you need five to even have a chance to qualify for anything. So to me, I feel like it's a team aspect, but I feel like it is. I mean, while track is a lot harder because of the different events and I mean the training and everything, but I do believe that cross is a lot more mental. It's a lot more tough mentally and a lot more tough physically.
Yeah, man, you having to run so far and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the most I ever did was about like I did the 400 a lot, and then I think I did the 800 one or two races, and even at that, it was like, man, can't imagine running. Can't imagine running over a mile, and then you do three regularly, right? Over three.
Tough.
Wow. So, I, I know you talked a little bit about it, but how did you first get into cross country? You said you were in seventh grade, but what was it that got you to join cross country?
It was a little bit before seventh grade. It was like 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
But my tia used to run. She used to be a big runner, and she used to run it out around her neighborhood. And one day she just invited me, and she was like, "Hey, like, you want to run?" And I was like, "I mean, why not, right?" So I started from there, and we would just do laps around our neighborhood, miles on miles. And sooner or later, I would do those local 5Ks that they would used to have in the past, and
Oh, okay.
I would just go do those. I won a few. I think it goes back all the way to 2016, so about 7, 8 years ago. So I mean, ever since then, I've kind of just enjoyed running. It's refreshing and it's really like relaxing when it comes to me. And I think the sport came to me. I didn't have to go out. I
Wow.
didn't have I didn't have to go reach for it. It came to me.
Wow. That's a pretty good explanation about it. Wow. Well said. So how does someone know that you're good at cross country, right? So you're saying you know, what kind of qualifications? Like, what do you think that you excel in? Is it because you have a lot of endurance? Is it because you're a little bit faster, or is it because you never stop? Or also, what would it take for somebody to notice? Like, when did you realize, hey, I'm pretty good at this?
I feel like I mean I realized kind of recently, like my junior year, like kind of starting off, because my freshman and sophomore year, I really wasn't the best. But I guess like a junior, I like flipped a switch or something, and I was just like, I mean, hey, like I'm good at this, and I really can go far if I really just put my mind to it. So I kind of just said, let's go, let's get at it. And I mean, now, I mean, I'm here, qualified for state, district champion. And I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but my motto is enjoy it. Like as a runner, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to have fun. And if you don't have fun, then there's really no reason for you to be running because I mean, it's tough. Like it does take it, especially with the whole mental aspect of it, of the sport. If you're not having fun and you're not enjoying it, then it's not gonna you're not gonna really get anywhere when it comes to it.
Oh yeah, and I would say that's pretty much for anything in life, right? If you're not enjoying what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're not going to want to be doing it. Absolutely, I totally get that. So, you qualified for the state cross country championship, right? The
Mhm.
big race. So, how does that accomplishment feel? I know you said you're district champion, but to reach, district champion and then surpass that going to state, how does that feel, and how was it? Can you explain also, like, what was the process that you had to, how many races you had to go to get to state? I know it's a little bit of a compact question, right?
You're good. Can you repeat that first part? I remember the second part. I'm like,
Yes. So we're saying that you qualified, right? So how did that specific feat feel? Because not many people go to state. There's a lot of district champions around the state, but not many people actually get to go to qualify. Or is it automatically, if you're a district champion,
oh
you
no,
qualify? Oh,
you have
okay.
to. You still have to go through regionals, but I feel like, ooh, it depends. I don't know. It's like, uh, can you repeat it? I'm sorry.
No, no, yeah, sure. Well, how do you feel about going to
Okay,
state?
okay, I got you.
Let's start at that.
Sorry. Okay, I mean, it's amazing. It's like the race was tough, regionals was tough. It's because you go through it's district. Well, I mean, you go throughout the season, you have a bunch of races, but you have district, regionals, and then you have state. So the regionals, it's tough. You have about I want to say 16 teams plus like 100 individuals. So it was tough. I mean, you had about 200, 180 kids, I want to say, running the course and regional. So I mean, it was tough. I came 13th, so I mean, of course, I was in the top half, but I mean, it was tough. It felt amazing though. Like afterwards, I almost passed out. I was in the bench. I was in the camp, just lay down, headache, everything. And I mean, because the way it works for regionals, if you're top 10 as an individual, you automatically get in. But it's the top four teams, and let's say the top four teams they have an individual in the top 10, they don't count towards the final total. So coming 13th, I knew I had a chance, but well, I mean, laying down there on the camp, I had my phone, I was kept refreshing results, I kept refreshing, and just I mean waiting to see if I got in. And I mean, once I got in, it was like it was like a moment of relief, and it showed that I mean all the hard work I put in and all the work I put in on a daily basis, a weekly basis, it finally showed up and it worked.
Awesome. So y'all had to run the district meet, then get invited to regionals, and then from regionals you had to win a certain, within a certain tier to be able to go to state. Awesome. So you were talking about, you felt good that all the hard work you did to earn this, you kind of felt, I guess, justified, or like, I'm glad, whatever you had to do to get there. So can you take us through a typical day of what your training routine is?
So it just depends. Like if we're doing like throughout the week, we usually have practice. Like we have workouts. We have like 2, 3 workouts a week, but we usually get up. I usually get up at around like 6 in the morning. Practice is at like 6:30. So I leave my house. I mean, we if it's a workout, we warm up. We do like a mile warm up, then we stretch, and then I mean it just varies. We can do speed, which is like 400 repeats, or we can do like a tempo workout where we do different type of sets, which is what we did today. But I mean, we go through the workout, we finish our mileage, and then we do a mile cool down. And then, I mean, as a team, we stretch, we roll out and stuff like that. But when it comes to like a mileage day, we get together, we stretch out, and then we just go off for mileage. We go off for 6, 7, sometimes 8 miles. I remember one Monday we had like 10 or 11, and it's a
Oh,
lot. But I mean, as a team, whenever you're running with a team, it's a lot of fun and you enjoy it.
man, that's a lot to run in one day. I don't think I run 10 miles in, a year, let alone in one run. Wow. So that in itself, right? Mentally preparedness, and brings me to my next question. So, what do you think is the most surprising thing when it comes to being mentally or physically prepared in cross country that people wouldn't, would surprise somebody? Something that y'all do, it's like, what, really?
I think it's more of like you kind of enjoy it. Like it's weird to say, but I mean, whenever you're running, like you enjoy it. Like whenever you're in the race and you're passing people and you're racing against people, it's fun. And like a lot of people are like, "What?" But I enjoy it. Like me as a person, like I love it. Like I love racing. I love getting out there. I love just competing with one my teammates, but two people from everywhere. Like people I've never talked to, people I've never seen. Like they're out there running, and we're all for the same goal: is to win the race, to qualify for the state, and stuff like that. So to me, I think enjoying it. I think enjoying racing is definitely something that would shock a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I second that, man. You anybody that you tell like, hey, let's go run or this or that, what do they say? Like, oh man, I'd rather watch some TV, right?
If it's my teammates, though, I mean, they'll of course join up. But if it's like one of my friends, I'm like, oh, hey, like, let's just go do a jog. They're like, I don't know. Like, you're going to go a little faster. I'll kind of let you go.
Yeah, I could totally see that. So, what's the most challenging part of the training? Is it the actual run, or is it competing directly with people? What would you
I
say?
think, I think the most challenging part would probably be maybe the training. I think that takes a toll on you, and it can really take a toll on your body. Like if you're not right mentally for that workout can ruin your whole week, and that can ruin your whole race. So it's just you got to just be mentally prepared. But I think it's just the toll it takes on your body, the like the difficultness when it comes to just running and working out every day and getting up at 6 in the morning, like sometimes not sleeping, sometimes not eating correctly. But I mean, you can't give up on your team, and you still got to show up at 6 in the morning ready to go, because you cannot be there for the team when all said is done.
Yeah, well said. So, what do you think is your one particular moment? I mean, I know it sounds like you've had several pretty memorable moments, but what is one moment that you can remember and think and look back as that one moment that kind of defines your career here?
I think, I mean, of course, you have regionals recently and you have district recently, but it was earlier this season where you went to Avada for like, it was like kind of like a little local meet. You had a few Laredo schools, San Antonio schools. I mean, everybody came down, right? So, I mean, going into the race, I mean, of course, I wasn't projected anything. Like, I mean, towards the middle half, towards the topper half. And I mean, my mentality was just, hey, let's win the race. So it was tough. I mean, I got kind of boxed in. So I mean, we went around the first loop, and I was kind of towards the back, and I was like, okay, let's try to make a move. So I made a move, and I mean, coming around the final, I want to say like 400, 800, I took off, and I mean, I beat the guy who was in first. I passed him, and it kind of showed me that, hey, like I went through a lot towards the beginning of the season, and it was tough, but I'm here now. I'm winning races, and it showed that, I mean, I'm capable of doing things that I never thought I was capable of doing.
Wow. So would you say? I mean, I was going to ask you. It, is that something that kind of motivated you from there on, or well, what's your motivation whenever you're running these races? Because I know you. I mean, running that long, you have to have some kind of motivation. Because I could only listen to the same song so many times, right? But you got you got a couple of hours out there that you may be, So how do you stay motivated during
I
that
think
long run?
I mean, of course, my teammates, my amazing coach, Coach Rodriguez, she really keeps me motivated. But I think it's just, I mean, my family and my tias, my grandmas, I mean, my grandma who recently passed away, and then my other grandma, like those people really keep me motivated throughout the season to really push things and to really show that, I mean, I have it, and you can be who you want to be.
Awesome. You mentioned too that about nutrition earlier, and that's something I wanted to ask and come back to. So, what role does nutrition play in the performance that you have? Going out there, what kind of regimen do you do? If anybody's out there wondering that's watching, kind of like what does he eat to have to run that much, or what's your nutrition plan? Take us through a day.
I mean, I have nothing specific, but I mean, I'll take you like before like a meet day. So usually sometimes we get together as a team, but there's this thing called carb loading before a race.
Mhm.
So like, I mean, the day before a race, like if we're not staying overnight, or even if we are staying overnight, we get together, we have pizza, we get pasta, like all of that stuff. I think to me, carb loading is a big thing, but throughout the week, I mean, I eat chicken, I eat rice, corn. I love chicken and rice. That's probably my favorite thing to eat throughout the week. My mom makes it; it's amazing. But I mean, I eat chicken, sirloin. I love to kind of stuff like that. That I try to stay away from fast food. Like recently, I've done a really good job at staying away from fast food because usually after school you're kind of craving some fast food and you're like, oh, like let's go get some fast food. But I kind of like stopped craving it, and I mean, I'm trying to eat more healthy. And I mean, I don't really have a nutrition plan, but I kind of go throughout the week trying to like stay nutritious and stuff like that.
That's good. I remember when I was in high school, that was real hard to do, man. Real hard. It's just easy to go grab something to eat and let's
Yep.
go about our day, right?
Yeah.
Who has time to cook nowadays? So during a race, we talked a little bit about it right now. When it gets tough, I mean, I could imagine a long stretch. You have a tough parts of the race. What is it that you tell yourself? What's your go-to thing that is running in your head to push yourself, or kind of tied to the motivation of it all?
I
What's
think
that one thing?
think that one thing is just to tell myself enjoy it. Like that's I feel like to me I'm always gonna go back to that. Enjoy it. Like whether it gets tough or not, like enjoy it. Pass a person. Go go like just go compete with somebody. Enjoy it because I mean, like I said before, if you're not enjoying it, then like there's no reason for you to be running at this higher level or stuff like that. So I think my one thing that kind of keeps me going throughout a race is just enjoying it and showing that like, hey, God put me here for a reason. So I'm here for a reason and I'm gonna show why I'm here.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, who's your biggest supporter or mentor during your journey here in doing cross country? Who's your biggest mentor? Who's always there behind you? Who can we accredit that to?
I mean, my mom and my dad, of course, but there's somebody else, which is my tia Erica. She's been there since I mean 9 years old, 10 years old, running around her neighborhood. But it was also kind of I mean, just I call her after every race. Call her sometimes if it's a really big race. I call her before. I call her a few days before, and I mean she usually she comes over to my house or to our house. So it's kind of like we go through, we talk about it, and I mean she's really been my stepping stone throughout. She gave me a book, so I mean I've been going through that, and it's been really helping me like kind of develop myself and stuff like that. But I think she is a big stepping stone when it comes to me being where I am today.
Awesome. So you mentioned your parents. You mentioned your tia. Any other kind of people out there that you look up to that do what you do? Maybe professional or runners out there that you try to model your game after. Anybody that inspired you that's maybe a professional type?
I think I mean I have a few, but I mean going back to like I mean, my supporters. I mean of course my coaches. I mean I can't forget my coaches, Coach Fajardo, Coach Cadetes, Coach I mean Rodriguez, but it was also Coach Gatsa. He retired last year, AT, but he's been there. He was there for my district meet. He was there for my regionals meet. So he saw me qualify, and I mean it was great seeing him there and just for him seeing me. But professional wise, I think I mean I look up to Yair Nagus. He's a runner. He used to run at Notre Dame, and now he's running for the Olympic team. But it also some like I mean just some I mean for the females Parker Valby and but like those kind of long distance runners who kind of like you look at them and you're like hey like this is kind of where you want to be and where I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, awesome, man. So what other you mentioned it's a team sport. For one thing, I didn't know it was a team sport. I thought that yeah, you ran. Of course, I've only run track, so maybe that's why I thought like
Yeah.
that. But I didn't understand how much of the team is actually involved in cross country. Can you explain that team aspect and maybe possibly if you want to shout out your team and thank them for everything?
So it's kind of so you have to start. I mean, so of course you have JV, you have varsity, but for varsity you have to have seven. You have to have seven to compete in any race to get counted. So it goes from the one. It's like a golf scoring type of thing. So if you come one, you get 1 point. If you come second, you get 2 points, and so on, right? But it kind of just. I mean, it starts from your one, from your two, but it's mostly that four and that five. And I can give a shout out to Joselin and Diego, I mean, they showed up in district, they showed up in regionals, and they kind of pushed themselves to that 4 and 5. But also, I mean, Dante Jimenez, he's been there for me. We've been pushing it together all season. We came 1-2 in district, so it felt really good. It felt really relieving knowing that, hey, like we put in the work, we came 1-2, and then Sebastian, he's a little freshman, so I'm trying to mentor him and trying to get him. I mean, get him where we kind of want him when it's all said and done and when I graduate.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like you guys are a close knit group, and I think that helps a lot. I mean, I remember I played football when I was in high school, so I can totally relate with the whole team aspect. And there is no I in team, and everybody kind of is there to support one or the other, right? Um, so now, kind of switching it up a little bit with the demands that you have in cross country, having to be out there running, spending so much time and investing, what it is you do, your craft. How do you balance and how do you feel about having to balance with school? I know that that's a big thing that, you don't pass, you don't play. Everybody knows that at that level. And how is it that you handle and balance those two things out?
I feel like I'm very good when it comes to it. I know how to manage my time and stuff like that. But I think it's just, I mean, like I said, making time. And the way I'm able to balance it is that, I mean, I put things aside when I need to get it done. And if running, and of course running's always going to be there, but to me it's like school's first, and school's always going to be first, because at the end of the day, I mean, there's life after college and there's academics. And if you wanna be successful, I mean, not that you need a college diploma, but that's where you kind of want to be, and that's where you kind of want to be successful. So I think, to me, I mean, grades are always first to me, and that's always been my motto, is grades first and running second. So I mean, it's kind of just, I mean, the balance wise, I mean, I used to not be really good because I used to have a job, I used to work, so I was doing that for about a year and a half. So I mean, it was tough trying to balance all three, but
Oh,
I
wow.
kind of got the hang of it. But I mean, afterwards, I mean, so afterwards, I kind of got better at it, and then I mean, school got tough my senior year. I'm taking a lot more classes, trying to keep my rank up, but I think I'm able to balance it pretty well as a whole.
So besides cross country, I know you mentioned math. Is there anything else that you're, passionate about or that you participate in?
I'm in NHS actually. I'm in the National Honor Society, so I mean, we do events all around the city and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of really all I do. I mean, I'm not. I mean, that's mostly all when it comes to it.
So now let's get to the good stuff, the meet coming up, the cross country championship. So what are your goals going into this race? What is it that you want to accomplish going forward with this one on
So
Saturday?
So there's gonna be about, like, I want to say 150 runners there running on 5A in our 5A division. So I mean, of course, I want to come top 100, top 50, but to me, I think my set in stone is top 30, top 40. That's where I can prove myself and I can prove a point. I mean, I was looking throughout the regions and other regions and other people, and I mean, I'm close and I'm really up there, but I mean, of course, when you step on the line and when the gun goes off, it's every man for themselves. And somebody who didn't have a good race last week can come back and have a good race this week, or someone who had a good race cannot have a good race. There's so many. It's so unpredictable, the sport is. So I mean, my goal and was something I've set out for and told all my coaches and told them that it's top 30, top 40. And if I can possibly push myself top 20, top 10, that's going to be even better, and that's just going to, I mean, fuel me even more come track season.
That's awesome, man. That's a big feat. We wish you luck with that.
Thank you.
So, do you have a specific strategy going into this? And
Ooh.
does it differ to anything that you've done, in regionals or in district?
We actually ran the course. We ran the course. I want to say like a month or two back. It's a different meet. It's called Holcomb McNeil. So we actually ran the course, and that course that we ran is going to be the same as state. So I kind of already have an idea on where I would like to make my moves, where I would kind of like to move up. But I think, to me, it's just getting out hard, and getting with the top 30, top 40, and just telling myself, like, you can't lose them. And that's kind of how I was in regionals, is like, get out there hard. And I had a different mindset when it came to regionals, and whenever during the race it didn't fall into place, I was like, oh, like that's not really what I was expecting. So I kind of had to adjust my mindset and adjust my kind of just adjust the whole race as a whole and kind of just be like, okay, it's not falling into place, but let's just go out there, let's compete and stuff like that. But I think to me, it's just getting out hard, staying with the top group, and just, I mean, competing and competing with the best of the best, like my coach says.
Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to in this competition? Is it competing with people, meeting the new people? What is it that you're looking forward to?
I think what I'm looking forward to is, I mean, of course, my last high school cross country race. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I think I'm kind of looking forward to just, I mean, just experiencing it because I mean, there's you're gonna have plenty of big moments, and this is a big moment to me. So enjoying this moment and taking it all in, like like one of our coaches says is take whenever we go somewhere and they're talking to us, take it in like a sponge, be a sponge. And that's kind of what I've always stood by. So if somebody's are talking to us or you have coaches from everywhere, it's be a sponge. And when I'm a sponge, you get to learn so much. So I think to me it's just taking it all in and just enjoying it.
Awesome. That's well said. You're mature for a 17-year-old, I'll say. Um, so where do you see yourself going with cross country? So this is your last meet, you mentioned, and that's good. And I know it could be kind of bad. I remember that feeling. But do you plan plans to run in college? Is there any future outside of high school with your cross country?
I want to say yes. I do. I mean, I am looking at a few schools and stuff like that. So, I mean, I am very much looking to run in college and to make it my dream to go out there and run in college, which has always been a dream since I was very little. So, I mean, I do really plan on running in college. Yes.
Great. What advice would you give to those young athletes that want to try cross country but may not know where to start or what, how to go about it?
I think start slow. Of course, start slow, work your way up. But like I said before, enjoy it. And it can get repetitive to me, and it can get repetitive to a lot of others. But that's what I've stuck by. That's what I stuck by this whole season. And when I wasn't enjoying it, it wasn't fun. But when I'm enjoying it, it's you enjoy it like no other, and you have a lot of fun. So I mean, advice is just enjoy it. Start off slow and work your way up. Like my brother, he's been running for a while, and he's an eighth grader now, so he's been running. He's been seeing me grow up running and stuff like that. So I just tell him, I'm like, just stick true to it. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your body, because if you don't stay true to yourself, then you're lying to yourself. You're not building what you really can build and go where you really can go.
Great explanation. Um, Man, well, we're kind of winding down here. I want to appreciate you, for taking the time and hanging out with us here in the podcast for a while, letting us know a little bit. I know there's a lot of people out here watching right now. If you've seen the comments that come through, they're proud of what you're about to go do. Uh, I always like to extend, a thank you. I think it's great when young athletes come out here and they work for something hard, and they go and compete. No matter what the result is, they always represent us, and that's what you'll be doing this weekend is representing Eagle Pass. And as a guy that used to play sports in high school, I mean, I know you must be feeling great right now. It's one of the best feelings you can probably feel in your lifetime. And you still have a lot more, but being young, barely coming up as a 17-year-old, I can't. It was a very long time for me, But
Yeah.
I just want you to know that there's a lot of people out there proud, and they'll be looking at your results to see. And there's a lot younger generation also that is looking up to you as a leader, and wants to see you compete and do great. So congratulations on
Thank you.
making state. And anything else you want to shout out your coaches, parents, anybody out there before we wrap up?
Just a quick shout out to, I mean, I've already mentioned her, but Coach Rod, she's been amazing. It's her first year as a true head coach. She was been an assistant in the past, but it was her first year as a head coach, and she's done an amazing job. She's pushed me, she's pushed the team, but she's gotten me here, and I've told her that I've told her recently is kind of like you've done what you needed to be you've done what you needed to do. Now it's just on us. Now it's just on me. So me being able to make her proud is such a great feeling for me because she really does deserve it.
Awesome. Well, Javi, I appreciate it, and you did real good. I don't know if you've done podcasts in the past or interviews, but that's one of the best I've seen, man.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, we'll
Yeah.
catch you. Happy Halloween. Hope you
Yes,
enjoyed
happy
your day,
Halloween.
and we wish you luck in your big meet on Saturday. We'll be watching out for the results, and we hope you hit your goals
Oh, yes.
that you want. And we wish you luck moving forward as you develop your career in anything it is that you do.
Thank you for inviting me on, by the way. I really do appreciate it.
No, yeah, no problem, man. It's great when our youth does something great here, and I think that's something that Eagle Pass really needs to highlight from both schools, right? CCN Mavericks and Eagle Pass Eagles. But we wish you luck. You got one more little
Thank you.
message out here. You see, so
Yes.
they really are proud of you out there, man. So
Yeah.
have a good night, man. Get
Yes, you
some
too.
rest.
Yes,
Again,
I
we
will.
wish you luck.
I'm gonna
Amazing.
sleep in.
Yeah, so we look forward to seeing great things from you again, man.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right,
Yes.
man.
You have a nice night.
You
Okay.
too. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.